Hi guys! Today is a fun collab time that I'm doing with my friend AB, Smoking and Grilling with AB. He has some amazing barbecue recipes. I get so hungry whenever I look at his recipes and they are just amazing. You need to visit his channel. Everything is so delicious there. So AB wrote to me and he said, what if we do a collab and make a 7-Up cake? And I was thinking I should do some research, and I found that most of the, well, all of the 7-Up cakes I found were these bundt cakes which are made with 7-Up. And I thought I really want to do something different, so I wanted to make a proper cream cake, but I wanted to incorporate the 7-Up somehow into the cake. And I also wanted to have something that tastes really like the 7-Up. So this cake has these little cute jelly cubes that have been making me laugh so much during this video, which are both on the cake and inside the cake. So we have that 7-Up taste really come through in this cake. And today I'm gonna show you how to make this fun 7-Up cake. Since this is a 7-Up cake, I'm gonna try to incorporate as much 7-Up as possible into the cake without making it overly sweet. So the first thing we are going to make, because we need these to cool and chill in the fridge, are the 7-Up jellies. So I have the 7-Up here. You will need about half a liter. And then I also have this kind of silicone molds, which well, will be for the jellies. If you don't have this kind of molds, you could also use just a cake mold, a silicone cake mold, like a big one, and then you could just cut the pieces yourself. So first I'm gonna divide the 7-Up. So I will need 100 milliliters for heating with the agar-agar, and the rest I will leave aside. Also, I have some green food color here because I want to give these a little bit of color so that the jellies will look pretty. So first you want to add the agar-agar into a small pan. Oh, small pot. So this is 10 grams of agar-agar, and I'm gonna heat it with 100 milliliters of the 7-Up, and you want to cook it for about 2 minutes until the agar-agar has dissolved completely. So now it's coming to boil and the agar-agar has been dissolved. As you can see, it's combined with the liquid. Now I'm gonna add it in with the rest of the liquid, so the cool liquid that I have here. Now at this point you also want to add the food color. I'm just gonna add little by little to see how much I need. I think this is going to be enough. It's quite green already, so add just a little bit. I took a little bit, but it seems to be quite a lot, so it's quite green, but I like the color. So now you just want to fill the liquid into your silicone molds. I'm gonna pop it in the fridge now and leave it to cool until the jellies have set. I have my softened butter there, and I'm gonna add the sugar in. So we are making the base for the cake now. And then you want to whisk it with a hand mixer or with a standing mixer for about 5 minutes, depending on which you're using. With a hand mixer it's gonna take a little bit longer, with a standing mixer just a little bit shorter. So just check how it's looking, and I'm gonna show you how it needs to look when you're ready. So this is how you want the mix or the butter and the sugar look like, really pale and fluffy. And then you can start adding the eggs. So I'm gonna add 1 egg at a time and then mix in between additions for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. So I've added all of the eggs and I've mixed them in. I have a really smooth and like fluffy pale mix. And now I want to add the skin of 1 lime, because the 7-Up is with lemon and lime. I want to enhance the flavor, so I'm gonna add a skin of 1 lime, and in this case you want to use organic limes. So I already added in the lime, but I actually forgot what I wanted to do before I do that. So now we are going to sift the dry ingredients, so we can start adding them in here. So I have measured all of my dry ingredients. They are all in here, and now I'm just gonna sieve them in, or sieve them into a separate bowl. And then I want to sieve it one more time, or sift it one more time actually. So now that we've sifted the dry ingredients, we can start adding them to the eggs and butter. So I'm gonna add about 1/3 first, and going to give it a short mix on low setting. Then I have the 7-Up here, and I'm gonna be adding it also in addition, so about half now, and I'm gonna add it while mixing, also on low setting. Then you want to add about 1/3, leaving a little for later. And now I'm just gonna add the rest of the 7-Up and then the rest of the flour, and mix until it's nice and smooth. So in the end you should have a really smooth batter. You can see. So then we need 4 15-centimeter cake tins. I always just butter them because the form is really good and it works with this kind of batter. But if you want to be sure, you can add a circle of parchment paper as well. Then you just want to divide the batter between the 4 cake tins. Now these are gonna hit the oven, and as always, check the baking instructions and the whole recipe from the link in the description box, which will lead you to my website. We are on the 2nd day of making the cake, and well, you could make it all in one day, but it's just a little bit easier to make it like this, and I will explain why exactly I'm making it in today's in a minute. But before that, we are going to prepare the cream filling for the cake. So I have the cream cheese here. I'm going to add the sugar to it, some vanilla paste, about 1 teaspoon, and also I'm gonna add a zest of 1 lime to the cream. And then you just want to mix it all well to also soften the cream cheese. So I want to combine all of the ingredients and soften the cream cheese. So it will take you a maximum of a couple of minutes to soften the cream cheese, and then you want to add the whipped cream to it. I've whipped the cream until stiff, and I'm gonna add half first and fold that in, and then add the rest. So the thing that caused me the trouble were these little things. So originally I made this with agar-agar, and I think I used too little of the agar-agar because they just didn't go the way they should. So you want really like jello kind of pieces that are not liquid-like. So I went and got some more 7-Up, and also I decided to go with gelatin. You could still use agar-agar. I will just adjust the recipe for you. Same with the gelatin, because I didn't mention the proportions, the amounts. So I will mention those in the recipe. But now it's looking great. I have a cake board here and one of the cake bases. Now what you want to do is add some of the jellos on top. So that's what I'm gonna do first. So I've arranged the jello pieces already. Now I have some fresh strawberries that I'm gonna also add in. So just so that you have some of the green jello, some of the strawberries, and then you want to place a cake ring around the cake. This is not a must, but it just helps a little. And then you just want to fill the spaces between with the cream. Now the next layer goes on top, and you repeat all the previous steps. Then you want to cover the cake with some cling film, and you want to chill it in the fridge for the time that you're making the buttercream. Also, you want to place the jellos back into the fridge for that time. I've made the buttercream, but I'm not going to add the whole process here for you because I've made that already. So I will link the recipe in the description box, and also I will link the video where I show how to make it. And now I'm gonna release the cake from the cake ring, just helping with the spatula. And here you can see, well, I didn't divide the cream really evenly, so my top layer doesn't have as much cream as the bottom layer. So when you're piping the cream into the layers, make sure that you divide it evenly. And now I'm gonna cover with 1 layer of buttercream. So So I've added one layer of buttercream. You can see it's quite a lot because of the type of the cake that it is. And now I'm just gonna roughly smoothen it out. Here you don't want to scrape too much of the cream off because it might have mixed with the cream cheese filling already, and you don't want to get any cream cheese filling out from the parts that you've covered with the buttercream. So there is one layer of the cream on the cake. Now I'm gonna pop it in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes, just so that the first layer has time to harden, and then I'm gonna finish the decoration. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna even out the cake, so you can see there are, well, it's not smooth. So I'm gonna add some more buttercream. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smoothen it out. This is my favorite tool at the moment. I've just recently bought it and I don't know why I didn't buy it before. So I'm gonna smooth it with the scraper. Basically, once you've gone around once, it allows you to see where you still need to add some buttercream. So here, the bottom parts mainly, and some parts at the top. So I'm gonna fill those. And then again, you want to smoothen it out. I'm not going into detail with the cake decoration tips and tricks in this video, but if you'd like to see more on how to decorate cakes, how to cover them with buttercream, let me know and I will do a separate video on that. So this is more about the recipe than decoration. So that's good. And now I'm gonna color my buttercream into different shades of green, and then I'm gonna continue decorating. So here I have a little bit of buttercream in each, just a little bit, and I've mixed different amounts of green edible paint into them to get 3 different shades of green. And now I'm gonna decorate the cake with these. Then you want to grab the cake scraper. You can also do it with the spatula, but it's just easier with the cake scraper. And just lightly press it against the buttercream and go around. Then make sure to clean it in between. Now I have 2 piping bags with 2 different piping tips. And I filled one with just the white buttercream that was left over. And the other one I filled with the white and all of the shades of green. And now I'm gonna just pipe randomly on the cake. And then I also want to add some of the jellies on top and also some strawberries. I'm so happy with this cake, how it came out. I had the idea in my mind and I didn't really know how it's gonna look. Let me show you something. This is maybe I'm just tired, but it's funny. Look how they do the dance. They do wiggle, 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 wiggle. So I finished the decoration now. I will transfer the cake to a cake plate. But I'm gonna do that tomorrow because it's getting dark and I want really nice photos for you. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna add some of the jello pieces also around the cake. So you will see in the pictures how the final cake looks like once it's on the cake plate. also I will cut the cake for you and we are going to see how it looks inside. I must admit that's the part I'm most excited about, because I'm really excited to see whether we can see those red cubes, green green cubes, and the red strawberries there inside the cake. So first of all, I would like to say all of you, thank you for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed this cake, because I had so much fun creating it, and I'm still having so much fun with all the wiggle that's happening with the jellos. And also I want to say a big thank you to my friend AB, who suggested this collaboration and asked me to make a 7-Up cake. So I will link AB's channel below, so you can visit him. And also I'm super excited to see what kind of 7-Up cake he's going to make, and I'm sure you really want to see it as well. So visit his channel and visit the video that I have linked for you below. I think I'm too tired already. I'm just laughing because of the cake all the time. I cannot stop. So I think I need to finish this and get some rest. But if you enjoyed watching this video, and if you found this cake cool with all the jello, please don't forget that thumbs up for support and subscribe for some more fun tutorials and delicious recipes. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.